As Vice President Kamala Harris works to shore up support for her nomination, former President Trump's running mate is on the campaign trail. Senator J.D. Vance is set to hold his first solo rally since being named the Republican nominee for vice president. ABC's Alex Prochet is there in Middletown, Ohio, and joins me now for more. Good to see you, Alex. We're just about 100 days away from the election, and we don't know whether Kamala Harris will be, in fact, the nominee, let alone who her running mate could be. How is the Trump campaign preparing for the unknown, and what is the vibe like there where you are?
Well, Stephanie, to answer that first question, listen, they were preparing, but they were hoping that it was going to be a race between the former president and Joe Biden. That's what they had prepared for. That's what all their research was for. And so now it's not even a wrinkle. It's a tidal wave of a change in the last 24 hours. It has really scrambled this last 100 days for them, right? And so, you had a candidate in which the former president felt very comfortable criticizing Bidenomics, if you will, and the last 4 years of this administration, and talking about things like the current president's age and certain policy issues. But now there's that uncertainty. And when you think about the role of a VP nominee, it's usually to be that attack dog. And so it's going to be really interesting seeing J.D. Vance here in his first solo campaign rally, how he goes about starting this attack on the presumed nominee, Vice President Harris.
And on that same note, John Santucci was saying something very similar, how Vice President-elect here, not elect, but J.D. Vance, Trump's running mate, is going to be that attack dog to go after whomever Vice President Harris chooses to be her running mate. Let's talk about Vance's wife. Usha has been the target of racist attacks from far-right figures online. How has J.D. Vance responded to that?
Well, so what's interesting about that, Stephanie, is he was hypercritical of this same type of Trumpism, if you will, back in 2016. Some of these attacks on the racial lines of his wife, and also some of that rhetoric that's already been spewed towards Vice President Harris. And so he's obviously denounced it, but this is going to be a tight line that he really kind of has to balance, because, listen, it is a part of the former president's campaigning in a way, right? And we saw during the RNC, and people were calling for unity, and he stuck to the script. But there were times where he would vamp off teleprompter, and some of that same rhetoric would enter, and you certainly see it amongst Trump supporters in chats and this, that, and the other. And so, listen, we've already seen J.D. Vance come out and try to tie Vice President Harris specifically to Biden policies and stick to issues about like the border and also economics. But this will be something that he really has to thread a thin line on.
We will see what J.D. Vance has to say once he steps up there in Ohio. It's starting to get busy behind you. Looks like a lot of setup is taking place. We'll let you go, Alex. Thank you so much for your time.